Welcome to Going Walkabout. This is episode 7, Finding a New Home, East Cape of the Baja. I'm Susan Steele, and with my husband of 37 years, Carl Steele, we decided to sell everything, pack up what was left into our faithful Subaru, and go walkabout, basically traveling with no agenda. Our first stop is Baja. We'd been there in the early 90s, and we were yearning to get back to the Sea of Cortez. As much as we've been enjoying our time in La Paz, we've wanted to get back to the East Cape, one of the oldest parts of the Baja Peninsula, where they started fish camps back in the 50s because they had such an abundance of game fish in this area. So we're packing up the car and heading down to the East Cape. It's moving day to Barriles, and just so y'all don't think it's rainbows and unicorns, try packing everything that you literally have or own into, as Kiwi says, it's a blivet. What's a blivet, honey?
And then just shove stuff into a 5-pound bag.
So we're heading south on Highway 1, the Larga route, which is the old route. And it's Larga because it's only 2 lanes. It's pretty twisty-turny. We passed El Triunfo, and then we're going to keep heading south until we get to Barriles. However, we will be stopping in the mountainous area because they have a place that does the most incredible empanadas. And so we'll stop in another hour or so. But lovely day. It did rain yesterday, and everything kind of looks really green, which is very unusual for Baja. Kind of lovely. This whole town's been done up by a lady who was part of the Walmart family, but she got divorced from the guy she was married to, and she has then put a lot of her money into doing up the town, creating a historical society. Several restaurants have reopened, and they've used the old buildings here for bakery. Coming into a very small town called Santiago, which actually has a mission. And so harkens back to all the missions that came all the way up from Baja to California, where that's how we got so many of our missions in Capistrano and the San Fernando Valley. But they started out in places like this. So coming into San Bartolo, which is where we stop and get empanadas. Now, this is where we've always stopped. When we used to take the bus from Cabo to La Paz, this is one of the only places you can stop to get something to eat. And everybody would stop here, all the buses and everything. So it's quite a popular place. And this is our favorite place that we've come to forever. Get empanadas, so hopefully they have fresh ones. We'll get shortly. Yummy, fresh made empanadas. They're absolutely delicious. I'm gonna tuck down. Okay, coming into Barriles, our new home for the next 3 months. Main drag, which is not very much, not very big. And this loops around and we'll get to the RV park that we're going to be staying in our lovely little home there. And so this is sort of the main drag of town, or the only drag. There's literally only one main street to this town. It's kind of a one-horse town. And just down here, where there's a little few shops and restaurants, is the East Cape RV park. Yeah, and this is it. This is our new domicile. This is the actual RV park, and it's actually beautifully done. There won't be anybody here for the next 3 months. We'll probably be on our own for the most part because all the Canadians have left. They fled up north, and so we'll be here holding down the fort, so to speak, during hurricane season. It's actually emptier from the last time we came here. There's actually a few people still here, but now it's really empty. But that's okay. And the house over here on the left is the one that we're renting. So pretty cute. Not sure if you can see. There we go. You can see it through our dirty windows as we drive up to it. Very jungly here, which is kind of neat. A lot of birds. So welcome to the new Casa de Steel for the next 3 months. We're very excited about being in this small town that very much harkens back to Cabo 30 years ago. Looking forward to exploring places like Cabo Pulmo, Punta Pescadero, and snorkeling in this fantastic ocean. And we had the Mexican welcoming committee. This is a bark scorpion. Hopefully we won't have to tangle with too many of those, but that was on the steps in front of the house. And these are the local mob of cows that seem to be everywhere in the town.
Been here about 3 days now, and these cows just show up wherever they want. They go on the beach. In this case, they're in the middle of town. I think they're kind of like a marauding tribe of cows here.
One of our first places to explore is going to be Punta Pescadero, which is up on the East Cape. So over, I don't know, it's got to be 25, 30 years ago, we came out here at Punta Pescadero, and it looked pretty much as it looks now. Ironically enough, we had driven our friend's Subaru out here, and we went diving, and it's still like one of the most untouched parts of Baja. This very death-defying drive over cliffs and the ocean to get to Punta Pescadero, where we came over 30 years ago, and it really actually hasn't changed that much. You pretty much have to fly in here if you build a house here, even to get your groceries. So it makes it a long trip if you've missed the milk. So this is the Baja Beyond for the East Cape area, Punta Pescadero. Very, very difficult to get to. And but once you're here, probably one of the most amazing places to snorkel and just really see the Sea of Cortez. For me, it's funny to think that these hotels were built in the 60s and 70s. You can barely get here right now with a modern four-wheel drive. I can't even imagine how they built these things. They're so out of the way and in the middle, literally of nowhere. It's incredible. And the old 70s architecture is beautiful and very functional. These great overhangs. So we're looking down from Punta Pescadero Hotel, and as you can see, some of these amazing homes that they built literally in the middle of nowhere on the cliffs. And in the distance there, you see a rock that looks like a pyramid with a bit of a flat top. That's where we're actually staying. That's Barriles. So you can kind of get an idea of the distances, and we're traveling on these incredibly difficult dirt roads that are right on the cliffside for miles just to get to this place. Pretty incredible. How they ever built out here is mind-blowing. So what we do most mornings is a walk along this beach, which is probably how California was 100 years ago. Certainly isn't anymore, but it's lovely, and people stay and sleep on the beach, especially Saturdays and Sundays, but it's been wonderful just walking every morning. Of course, you have to get out of the way of the cows, but this is Barriles. Kiwi addressing the cow conspiracy. So now we know who's tipping the trash cans and eating out of them.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. This morning's #1 qualifier, Susan Steele, in a black one-piece, due to the fact that a lot of the audience phoned in yesterday because looking into her pink one-piece, she looks really fat. So here we go. First off, Susan Steele will qualify for the Olympics.
It was a perfect dive. Oops.
Why does everybody got 0 on there?
Thank you for joining us as we get settled into the East Cape in Barriles. We hope you enjoyed our video. If you have, please like or subscribe. We'll have more videos coming out in the next couple of weeks and months as we visit Mexico City. Hasta la vista.